Hi friends! With summertime on its way, it's time to build your summer reading list. Sometimes I get overwhelmed with so many options out there. How do you decide what to read next? Today I'm going to share some tips to help you pick your next great read. I'll be creating 9 to-be-read pages for your planner as I discuss creating your summer reading list. Tip number 1. Identify your interests. Think about the genres you love, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, mystery, fantasy, sci-fi, or romance. Also consider themes or topics that currently pique your interest, like historical events, self-improvement, or space exploration. It would be interesting to have a theme for your whole summer reading list. Like if you're interested in World War II, you could pick books about espionage, novels about what life was like for women on the home front, a novel about what it was like in the trenches, a romance novel between a soldier and his woman. You could also include a nonfiction book about the war, the story behind the poem In Flanders Fields. The choices are endless on this topic, but I like the idea of having a themed summer. Tip number 2. Consider your mood. Are you in the mood for something light and fun, or something deep and thought-provoking? Your current mood can heavily influence your reading experience. If you're in the mood for light and fun, you could consider an all-romance novel summer, but put a twist on it. You could choose books from different time periods, like what were romance novels like in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. Tip number 3. Set your goals. What do you want to get out of your next book? Are you looking to learn something new, escape reality, or get inspired? How about considering an all-biography summer? You could choose all biographies about women, or all biographies about men, or movie stars, or scientists, or artists. Tip number 4. Check recommendations. Ask friends and family or dive into online communities like Goodreads or book forums. You'd be surprised at how many great recommendations you can find from fellow book enthusiasts. With the to-be-read planner pages I have created, there's a spot for you to write why you want to read the book. So if you get a great recommendation, you can jot down that Aunt Nancy said this was an insightful book about feminism in the 70s. Tip number 5. Browse bestseller lists and award winners. These lists, like the New York Times bestsellers or the Pulitzer Prize winners, often feature highly acclaimed books that might just become your next favorite read. How about all the bestsellers that you might have missed out on? You can look up the bestseller list, old and new, and choose from there. Tip number 6. Read reviews and summaries. Platforms like Goodreads and Amazon have plenty of reviews. Reading a few can give you a sense of whether the book will suit your taste. When I'm searching for books at the online bookstore, I definitely skip down to what the people have said about the book. It feels like a friend giving you their latest book advice. Tip number 7. The author's reputation. If you've loved books by certain authors in the past, see if they have new releases or other works you haven't explored yet. This is a good tip that I have done in the past. Sometimes you find a book you love and you just want to stay with that author and devour everything they've written. especially if they have their own series that you haven't heard about. Tip number 8. Sample the book. Read the first few pages or a sample chapter. Sometimes you'll know within a few pages if the book is for you. Once in a while I will do this just to get a sense of the author's writing style. There are some styles of writing that I just don't like, no matter how interesting the book might have been. Tip number 9. Consider the length. Think about how much time you have. If you're busy, a shorter book might be perfect. Short stories can be fulfilling too. Some short story authors are Ernest Hemingway, Alice Munro, Flannery O'Connor, William Faulkner, and Jack London. Tip number 10. Visit libraries and bookstores. Spend some time browsing. Sometimes a book cover or a random flip through its pages can catch your interest. I know when I'm totally lost, I love looking at the cover of a book to help me choose. But I definitely have to have a look inside, because a beautiful outside does not always mean a good inside. Tip number 11. Diversify your reading. Challenge yourself to read different genres or authors from different cultures. It's a great way to broaden your horizons. While I have mentioned some genres here, a quick search for a list of book genres can help you discover more. Have a little fun doing some research to make your list. Tip number 12. Reflect on past reads. Think about what you liked or disliked about books you've read recently. Use those insights to guide your next choice and to remember authors that you have enjoyed in the past to find your next book. So there you have it, 12 tips to help you choose your next book. Also, please consider visiting my shop to get the to-be-read list that I've created here for you. Happy reading!